everyone? Krypton Gaming Network, bringing you an episode of Dragon Age Inquisition. Today we're going to be doing the Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts mission. And this mission primarily consists of you gaining the approval of the court. Now, what I'm going to be doing in this video is showing you how to get 100% approval with the court. So let's go ahead and get that mission started, and as the mission is going on, I'll brief you guys a little bit more.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding, Brian? The Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
Okay, so the reason why I skipped it is because if you're new to the game, then basically all he does is he asks, about the main players in this particular mission. So there's really no key information that you're gonna miss other than knowing about who the important parties are in this particular part of the mission. So that's why I skipped ahead. So let's go ahead and get the mission started. And I'll tell you guys more as we get to the actual mission spot itself. Now, in your party selection, this is going to be very important. You want to make sure that you have a rogue with you because you need them to unlock doors. Okay? Now, you don't want to just have them unlock doors, but they have to have the ability to pretty much unlock any door, because there are some doors in this particular mission that are absolutely unable to be unlocked unless you have your Inquisition's secret section, or the part where Liliana is responsible for the Inquisition. If you don't have your rogues unlocking ability fully maxed out, then I would wait until you do that. But if you do have it unlocked, then I would recommend any one of the rogues. If you don't mind the personality changes, then you can go with pretty much anybody. But if you're looking for an interesting story or conversations, I would go with either Varric or Cole. Again, if it doesn't matter, then you can pick anyone. Me personally, because of the way that I have Sarah set up, I prefer to have her come with me. Okay, definitely take a warrior with you because I have Cassandra as a tank. She's going to be my primary warrior. Once you have the first two people picked, the first two primary people, the last person can go either way in terms of being your primary backup or being someone that's going to support the rest of the team. Since I already have a tank, I don't need Bull. I'm already a mage myself, so I don't need to have another mage with me, and I don't want to have two warriors with shields because that's kind of limiting their abilities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another mage, but I'm going to take a mage with different abilities from my own. Alright, so that's my party setup right there. You don't have to set yours up like I did mine's, but this actually makes for a really good team because you have two sorcerers, you have one person that has ranged ability, and then you have somebody like Cassandra who's a tank, which pretty much will draw most of the attention to herself. Alright, so let's go ahead and confirm that, and let's move on. There's four main things that you're going to want to concentrate on when this actual mission starts. Okay? The number one thing, court approval, is to do things that appeases the courts. And I'll tell you once this conversation finishes up. So I'm going to let this part play right here, and then I'll go into more detail with you guys about what exactly you need in order to gain 100% approval. This particular mission is a lengthy process, so forgive me if it sounds like I'm just rambling on and on, but there are certain details you need to know if you approval. So let's go ahead and listen to this right here.
The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, So our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Trevelyan, it is an honor to meet you at last. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Which one was the rightful one again? I keep getting them confused.
If we keep watch, he may appear, probably by the brandy. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. Prepared to shock the Assembly by appearing as the guest of a hateful usurper, my lord? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
Tell me there's more to your suspicion than the elves were acting dodgy.
That Ambassador Briala used to be a servant of Celine's. That is, until my cousin had her arrested for crimes against the Empire to cover up a political mistake. If anyone in this room wishes Celine harm, Inquisitor, it's that elf. She certainly has reason. Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
The mage? No, there must be some mistake.
From the
All right.
circle of Ostwick.
Okay, so if you guys look at the upper right hand corner, you can see that we're starting out with 30 approval percentage, and we want to obtain 100%. I've done this mission quite a few times, so there's there's really no wrong way for me to do this, but I want to make sure that if I'm going to help you guys understand this, that I'm explaining it, you know, as best as possible. Okay, so before you actually go into the building, there's one person you can help outside of the building that would actually help your approval go up before you actually even start the mission. So when you first get done talking to the Duke Gaspard, then you come over here and you find this noblewoman and you talk to her, and she'll explain about her ring that's missing.
Pardon me, my lord. You haven't seen a ring lying around, have you? It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Countess finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know.
Okay, so if you hit your L3 button, it's immediately over in the corner near this fountain. So let's go ahead and get that ring, and we'll bring it back to her, and pay attention to the court approval. Won't go up much, but you'll see a big difference.
Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Okay, so it's basically saying the more, you know, you help out, the more court approval you obtain. Okay. And it's basically telling you what you have to do. You know, it's usually the result of finesse, entertaining people, or keeping up appearances. Yada
Is this
yada
the ring
yada.
you were looking for?
Okay. So we
You
went
are
up to
a treasure.
35%.
I cannot believe you found
Okay.
it.
Now, just as a rule of thumb, the four things that I talked about earlier that are going to be important for you to be concerned about is secrets, gossip, Hala statues, and coins. So if you see a fountain, go near it and see if there's coins you can pick up out of it. But the primary way is to get the secrets, which is in locked, behind locked doors. Also, too, gossip. You want to pay attention to people that are having conversations. There's going to be little highlighted circles that you can go into that allows you to be at a safe distance and listen to what people have to say. All right, now you see this gate that I'm about to pass through. Once you pass through this gate, do not go any further forward. Okay, first thing you want to do is go to your left or to your right. I would say start left first because there are items here that you're going to want to get, which allows you to get into rooms at the lower level. Okay, now just to give you an example, okay, you see the guy with the paragraph box or puzzle box above his head? You'd want to go up, talk to him.
This is a private conversation. Please leave.
Okay, now that that conversation has been kicked in, now what you want to do is once he leaves and goes to another location, you want to get as close to him as possible. All right.
Interesting.
Okay. So let's go ahead and see. I guess we have to, let's see. Here we go.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end
Little
to the
red
war
ring
tonight.
that I'm in, you want to find those
If the metal does
locations
not
and you
heal
want to
now,
stand into them and
just
you want to
pray.
listen to the conversation. This is part of what you need in order to gain approval with the courts. The gossip is what's going to help. Alright, now once you've done that, okay, shimmy all the way across here. Okay, hit your L3 button. Now you see that? Pick up storage key. Alright. So we got everything up here from this top section here. Okay, now we want to head down stairs here. And we want to go across to the other side. Now there's another, the two sections underneath the balconies where I just went past. Okay, I'm gonna go down there, but before we do that, I just want to show you what you're gonna want to do in order to be able to get into unlocked doors. Okay, right there, you see that? You actually can see it land on the ground right there. It's a Hala statue. Alright, pick that up. Now we have 1 of 10. Yes, you're gonna have to find 10 of those. It can be a bit tricky if you don't know what you're looking for. Alright. See what we got here. Nope, don't need that. Alright. So that Hala statue, I'm gonna show you guys what I picked that up for and what those are for. So we'll go down here and we'll start right at the bottom section underneath these stairs. Alright, so you see that door? If you didn't have that statue, you wouldn't be able to get into it. Okay, so let's go into the door. Yeah, notice the symbols right above the door? Yeah, those are Hala symbols, and you need the Hala statues in order to get in there. Okay, nope, don't need that. Let's see what else we have over here. I will take the coins, but no, I won't take that. So you want to be very thorough and very tedious when you're looking for the statues and storage keys and stuff like that. Definitely be thorough. Alright, so that key that we found opens this door. Let's see. There we go. You see that right there? Take the scandalous testimony. Those are the things you want to find that's going to help with your court approval. So we have to find 30 of those. So you definitely got to be vigilant in looking for those items. Okay, you see that caprice coin? You got to pick those up too. You need 15 of those. Alright, let's see what's in here. No, don't need any of that. Alright. So, just outside the main part of the building where you have to start your court approval, we helped one lady and got an extra 5 court approval, and we found items in that particular, in this section without even going into the main part of the building yet. So once you've done everything that I just did, then you can go ahead and proceed into the gate and start the actual mission. Now before you do that though, let me just forewarn anyone watching this video that once you enter into this gate, your court approval process starts right then and there once the cutscenes and everything are over. Okay? There are going to be sections that you're not allowed to go in, but you can still go into those sections. You just can't stay in those sections long, because if you do, it reduces your court approval. Okay? So before you go into these sections, try to search everywhere else first. Remember, the 4 main things that you want to obtain in order to get the maximum court approval are the coins, the caprice coins, the Hala statues, gossip, and, you know, like that testimony item that I found, you know, which is called a secret. Okay, so secrets, gossip, coins, Hala statues. Those are the primary things you want to find, because that's what's going to help with your court approval. Alright, so let's go ahead and start.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up, don't worry.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
Might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Especially Sarah. Maybe tell her twice.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Whenever there's dialogue taking place or cutscenes, anything of that nature, you usually won't catch me saying anything, because it's important to hear what they're talking about, or, you know, there's probably some information you'll obtain through the dialogue or cutscenes. Okay, so where we are now is the vestibule, and from this point we basically just want to do a lot of looking around. If I can remember correctly, there's nothing in these sections, and you won't be able to get through any of these doors here because they're going to require you to do some extensive searching of the main building, and that's how you're going to be able to get into the other sections. Okay, so remember, your court approval process starts now, and you want to go ahead and try to eavesdrop on conversations. Alright, so see right here, there's one here, so you just hit your X button and listen in on conversations.
Boring.
Alright, try not to leave the circle if, wait a minute.
Boring.
Okay. Try to leave the circle only if it disappears.
I can hardly believe Gaspard and Celine are in the same room.
Here we go, right here. Try to walk past everyone and see if you can engage in them saying something.
Just gossip.
Alright, let's see. Anyone else?
How long can Orzammar hold out with trade disrupted?
We have reserves of food supplies to last a few months, but the king wants trade resumed before panic starts.
Let's see. Okay, so that one requires a key, and I think this one also too required a key.
Is there any progress on the Helmi expedition to Antwerp?
House Dace remains steadfast in all attempts to get into the time.
Yeah, required a key. Like I said before, this is a slow and tedious process, but you know, it depends on how quickly you can get it done. It's going to determine how long it's going to take.
If nothing else, the Inquisition
How could
backed
the Empress
Gaspard
afford to renovate the palace without war going on?
I heard that it wasn't renovations at all. The palace was damaged by Gaspard's catapults.
He fired on the Winter Palace? That's monstrous.
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. Such a pity the wing is sealed. I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated, but the timing is atrocious.
Why would
The
she do
sooner we
such a
go
thing
in,
now?
the sooner we can get this over with.
The guest wing is not open to the public at this time, Inquisitor. How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Please, it's barely half the size of the foyer in the...
Just gossip.
Let's see. So we're not going to be able to get into any parts here until we...
Gaspard never struck me as pious. He must think he gains some military advantage with the Inquisition.
Alright, so we're going to have to head inside. So this is the point of no return right here, and what I recommend is saving at this point. Because once you enter into the court, it's going to autosave, and you won't be able to do anything from that point.
Service has already gone inside. I'm not sure about the others.
Alright, so once we get into the main building, then the whole process starts.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lord Inquisitor Trevelyan of the Ostwick Circle of Magi. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
He is so full of it. That's not how it went.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
Pantagast, 14th...
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lord Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I'm delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Ivat, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want anything?
I heard the
Papa's perfectly happy in the studio.
Okay. I don't know where the hell she just went. But anyway, so now that the process starts,
You always take her side.
I would hold off talking to any of your team because that's just going to prolong the mission even longer. I would just start going everywhere, talking to everybody.
Under Gardener Valmontaigne and paramour to the Duchess.
Can you believe the Inquisition filled its ranks with apostates?
You just know that will end
Let's see here. Okay, nobody there to talk to.
Revered Mother Lucille of the Chantry of Arlezon, third cousin of Duke Gratien of Arlezon.
Like to go around and see everyone here.
Laurent, perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor. Smile, Commander. You're so handsome when you smile.
He is just as handsome when he doesn't.
What were they doing in the Western Approach? It's a wasteland.
Let's see.
Lord Severin Ducey, Baron of Jada, accompanying the Baron, Lady Arlette and their son, Lord Edmund, student of the composer Emmeline of Montsimard. Prince Ezio Ballisti of the House of Ballisti in Antiva, and third Talon of the Antivan Crows. Lord Marcelin, Comte de Travers and his wife, Lady Elodie, patroness of the artist Chantal Valroyot, and Sir Bastien Vauquelin, Chevalier of the Empire and paramour of the Comte.
Okay, I guess they're not gonna...
Are all the Delonces here?
Maker, I hope not.
It may not have been wise to claim to this particular engagement.
Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he does.
Alright, so let's go find Liliana. So now our process to get 100% is right here at this point.
I was hoping it would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the Circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
You think she's controlling the minds of the court? That's powerful blood magic.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.